Hi, and welcome to the Boat Princess podcast. My name is Nikki Vo, and I'm your host. I'm a boat owner, a marinas owner, an international conference presenter, and a huge advocate for boating. I'm sharing the stories from every nook of the boating industry with the intention of encouraging more women to join me and for more women to get behind the helm too. I want to share the experience and opportunities of boating, of the boating industry, and I want you to join me as I bring the conversations and answer all the questions you've had. Boating is not just for the glamorous and rich and famous. It's full of beautiful and interesting people making the most of our natural environment and getting out there enjoying the waterways. So let's let off the lines, take over the helm, and escape to the world of boating. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Boat Princess podcast. I have a superstar of the industry in front of me, and sadly she's retiring this year, so we're going to grab her before she goes. Her name is Sylvie Ernoult, and she is the show director of the Cannes Yachting Festival. So nice to talk to you, Sylvie.
My pleasure.
You and I had a chat at the ICOMIA Congress.
Yes.
And we decided we do this because I didn't want to let you go without the world hearing a little bit of your story at least. So tell me, you and I discussed the fact that this industry doesn't have as many women as men in it, but in your particular space, in the organisation of the shows, women actually dominate.
Exact.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
It's a difficult job. It's a job who requests courage, and it's something that you have to. It's very cyclic, and sometimes you have to stay very late, and you have to continue your file. And how to say? In general, men are just abandoning if it doesn't succeed too fast, and it's a very characteristic of women to be better in this kind of business. Clearly, from what I saw my team and I saw the girl, what they do, how they fight, how courageous they are, and it's very feminine to be like that.
I love that. That's so strong. I love that. And what do you think, how did you start your career? How did you get to where you are now?
I started my career in a maritime business full of men.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what were you doing specifically when you started?
Oh, it's a long story because I started with computer, and I was doing computer on a crude oil ship, and then I was doing budget control on a cruise ship, so still big ship, and I worked for 7 years, I think 8 years with the real maritime world, full of men. I was going on board to help them technically, and I was surrounded of all the crew, very nice. And I even did some job on board those boats in Africa and in crude oil ship. It was a tough job, but it was amazing. The passion they have for sea, those guys are also courageous. And when I told you that only the women are courageous, it's not true, but it's another courage because they do this, they have a passion. They have a passion to be at the sea, and it's great experience to be with those guys. And I did that for 7 years, 8 years. And it's I share this passion with them, and it's true that I keep that forever. And whatever you're doing with sailor, from small boat, sailboat when I was young, to this big cruise ship, and then back to yachting size, it's the same passion.
Yeah.
And it's the same great environment.
So how did you transition from that to where you are now? Were there steps on the way, or did you go from one to one?
I helped to do a financial model, and I did this for Club Med 1 and Club Med 2 cruise ship, who were French cruise ship, and they had a tax shelter modeling to do, and I was an expert in this financial model with my boss, who owns the boat and who makes them build. And this same model has been copied for the yachting, not small, but much smaller than the cruise ship, for the 70 feet sailboat, and it was the same model. So one day the guy was running this small boat fleet and trying to find somebody to help for the financing, asked me to come as it was the same model. And I said, maybe it's time to leave the big boats and to jump to the small one. And this is how I jumped to the small one. Very different. A crew in a small boat is completely different than crew on big boats. But again, it's still the same passion. It's just different way of managing them and talking to them. But I skipped from one to the other as I was curious, and it was a good opportunity. And I never left yachting after that.
Right. And then, so you're working on smaller boats?
Yeah.
Well, you say smaller boats. They're 70
Compared with the big guys,
with the
it's
big
small
guys.
boats, but it goes to 20 or 30 meters also, so it's not small.
No.
But it's smaller than the big.
Yeah. And then where did you go from there?
I run a charter fleet.
Yes.
And in a French company. And what's happened is that this French company get bought by a British company. That's happened. Pretty sad, but it's happened.
Yeah.
So I work for the British company, and the British company has an American subsidiary in Maine, in the States, and they send me over to put the American team under the rule of the British-French team. So anyhow, I tried to handle this company in America and make them European. Tough job, okay? But I did it, and I run this fleet. And in fact, what was good is that the British guy who bought us asked me to take care of a crude fleet and to create a luxury brand of the charter regular fleet and making a platinum crude fleet. And then I create, I had, I think, 15 boats, 15 sailboats with 2, 3, or 4 crew members, running everywhere on the worst place of the world. I mean Tahiti, Caribbean, Seychelles, French Riviera. You
Sounds
see
terrible.
of this terrible
Awful.
place.
Awful.
And I had to handle those guys and to make the business work on board and also with the sales team all over the world to find clients. It was a great experience. It's very difficult to run crew because you run them, you have to do it remote, and it's a tough job, but it's amazing, very interesting. And when you do that and you're able to handle your fleet all over the world, I think you're pretty good in managing a remote thing like that. So this is what I did for 10 years.
Okay. So you've done that for 10 years.
Yeah.
What happens after that?
I did a little bit of luxury real estate at Club Med.
Okay.
Because I worked for Club Med when I was building and running the ship Club Med 1 and Club Med 2. I was on the shipping side of the boats, but I was still working with Club Med who were on board. And I'm pretty fan of Club Med also. I grew up at Club Med with my parents, so I'm part of the spirit. And when I stopped this job, I wanted to stay in Paris for private reasons. There is no real maritime and sailing business in Paris. And so for 3-4 years, I think, I changed my mind and I came in luxury real estate. Because when you are in luxury, you can change the product. Should you stay in luxury, you still have a consistency in your...
Because it's the same bunch of clients, right? They're doing the luxury houses and the luxury boats. And exactly. Yeah.
And it's a selling job. It's negotiation. It's doing business. There is also law things and financial things involved. So it's the same thing.
Yeah. So you're in the real estate business.
Yeah.
Then you obviously decided to change tack.
And then I got somebody who came to me and say, would you like to work for the Cannes Yachting Festival? I said I never thought about it, but when I was working with my charter company, I was a client at the Cannes Yachting Festival. I was exhibitor there, so I knew the product.
Yeah.
I said, it's a great show. Why not? Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And after a few months of talking, I accept the job.
Okay.
That's the way it is.
Now, that was a long time ago.
13 years ago.
13 years ago. Okay.
One third of my career. A little bit less.
Yeah. So this is a big job.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a big job.
To tell you the truth, at the beginning when I said yes, I didn't imagine this so big.
Yeah.
But in fact, plus it gets bigger because the show grows. So it's a big job.
Yeah.
But it's a great job.
Yeah.
Really. It's a very, very nice job.
Yeah. And how what's interesting about Cannes, from my point of view, is when I ask people about boat shows, they always say that Cannes is one of the most fun shows. How do you think you've done that? How do you think you've made it? For the people that work here, they think it's one of the most fun shows that they do.
Fun, you say?
Yeah.
I think one of the things is that because it's the end of summer,
Yes.
it's the end of holiday, French people, European people are going back to school,
Yeah.
clearly after the summer holiday, and they start with Cannes. And being on the pontoon under the water, it's a good way to start, and it's a good way to do it, because then you do all the boat show, you finish with Düsseldorf in Germany in February. This is less fun, okay? And the Düsseldorf is a great show, but it's just the atmosphere, the ambiance, or not on the pontoon. So I think one of the things is this. And second, it's the French Riviera.
Yeah.
And the French Riviera is glamour, it's magic, it's fun for everybody. And everybody, it's true, is happy to meet again after holiday and to be with their boat on the pontoon and the sun. I think it's a good match, and I can see most of my exhibitors starting the show with a big smile, always very happy being there. It's good.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've now got to hand over to somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Time to give the helm to somebody else. Exactly.
So Constance is your current deputy director,
Yes.
and she is going to take over as your. When does that happen?
It's
Do we
happened,
know? Or is
pretty
it gradually
fast now,
happening?
because she's going to be the person in charge of the boat show of the Cannes Yachting Festival 2026.
Okay.
And a show like this, it starts at least 12 months ago. It's
Okay.
not true, because it's 18 months ago. So we start already to work together on 2026, and I helped. Then I did the 2025, my last one, and she's going to take the helm pretty soon in order to take the control of the 2026. But I will stay behind her for a while as an advisor, because 2026 is not going to be an easy edition for technical and work environment. We have challenges. We had challenges this year, last year, but it's not me. When I start, the show was easier. Okay, she starts in a pretty not easy environment. So clearly, I think it's better if I can be behind and help her, and it's also good for the team. It's good for everybody, and she's good because she still accepts me. I don't know how long she will, but so far she's still smiling and she still accepts me. So whenever she will be the boss, pretty soon I will just be behind. But maybe it's a way to encourage, to support, and to help, because it's a big job, and when you're not used to it, it's big responsibility, and you cannot be sure 20%, 100%, you cannot be sure. After 6 months being trained, it's not enough. So you need to reinforce so we will be together 1 year, and then I will leave.
Okay, gotcha. So Constance, tell me where you were before you've come to this role.
I worked for 12 years at Group Beneteau.
Okay.
And I managed the 9 brands of the group as far as operational marketing, communication is concerned.
Okay, so you really know your boats.
I know the boats.
Yeah, because of all the brands, that's probably the biggest brand in terms of scope of type of boat. And
yeah, there's a great diversity. You
Yeah.
have monohulls, multi-hulls, day boats, yachts.
Yeah, which gives you a whole bunch of understanding of all of those different types of boats already, which is great.
I would say that I have pretty good understanding of what exhibitors want. Now,
Yes.
managing a show is another story.
But that's a really good space to come from, though, from the exhibitor's viewpoint of understanding what it's like to be in a show.
Well, it does give an understanding.
Yeah, that's really, really good. So obviously Sylvie's a bit of a legend, been around for 13 years doing this show. And
Can you imagine going after a legend?
it's a bit of a big shoes to fill, which I'm sure you
Your
will.
microphone. She will make it. I'm sure she will
Of
make
course
it.
she
After
will.
6
She's
months
gonna
with
be
me, okay, she
totally
knows
fine.
what she wants. Sometimes she look at me and maybe she doesn't agree with what I'm doing, and probably she's going to make things change, and that's good. One of the reasons I'm leaving is because I'm tired and I want to change my life. It's normal because I'm getting old, very old.
Yes.
But also because it's good to change people and to change also the way to work, the show evaluate. And she will make it differently than me, but I'm not worried she will make it. So it's no big deal to be behind me, because she's going to make it slightly different, I think.
Yeah. And that is a perfect example of how a woman should lead to another woman. Yeah, she's said, yeah, she's going to be fine, and she's going to bring difference to it.
Yeah.
So what differences do you think he'll bring?
Well, we don't have the same background, which
Yeah.
make my view different than hers. Well, it's a different perspective, let's say.
Yeah.
Sylvie would be far more sales-oriented, and she has this huge experience in overviewing the organization of the show. And she does, teach me a lot about that, which is needed to manage things properly. And I would bring my experience, so hence my marketing view.
Yeah.
With the digital needs that we have and the awareness that we need to continue to work on, and all that kind of aspects.
Yeah. And digital was a very good word to pick, because the world is changing in that space. So you'll bring that modern approach, I guess, to it.
Well, I don't know if it's a modern thing, but it's true that the marketing mix need to have a digital aspect, even for an event.
Yes.
So the before and the after the show tends to be not as important, but important for the success of the show.
Yeah, the collection of the data and the talking to that data and all the rest of it. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. So what are you excited for most about this role?
Well, I'm used to say now, but I think, Cannes has always been my favorite show, so this is why I'm here. I must admit, I was really amazed by the expertise of the team on technical aspect, marketing aspect, and sales as well. So there's a huge bunch of people, I would say, but experts, internal experts and partners that we're working with on the technical side that we can trust and we rely on for the show. This was, I was amazed about all that aspect.
Yeah.
Then on the diversity as well that I knew of the show, of course, and this diversity they can see on the dock, diversity of exhibitors and boats and offer, and this is pretty amazing for Cannes. And the fact that we can do trials, the fact that we are recognizing as well more and more the sustainability aspect as well of the boats, and so we are trying to answer the kind of I don't know if it's a trend, but it's a need as well to enhance all this innovation as well. So yeah, it's a great job, it's a great work, and it's a great show, honestly.
Oh no, it truly is. Yeah, it's a fantastic show. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate your time. I know you're both running around so fast with so much to do.
But it's good to have this interview because it's a short part of my life, short part of her future life and professional life. It's pretty good to sit down and to talk about it, because we just run, we do a lot of things, but it was a pleasure for me to share that with you and with Constance.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good question and good job.
Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. Thanks everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed that chat, and it's been great to have you listening to us. What an amazing, brilliant couple of women that are joining together for a little while and then moving on to a new era for Cannes Yachting Festival. What a great show. Thanks guys. See you soon. Hi everyone, thought I'd just jump in here and say thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I really appreciate you doing so. Please share it with your friends, tell people about it, and give us a review. We'd really appreciate a review. We'd like to know what you'd like to hear about as well. You can connect with us on LinkedIn, Nikki Vo, The Boat Princess, and Instagram at The Boat Princess. If you'd like to get involved in some of our events, then contact us at info@theboatprincess.com or simply sign up for our newsletter at theboatprincess.com. You take care. We'll see you on the water soon. It's lovely to have you here. We appreciate you. The Boat Princess podcast is hosted by Nikki Vo, produced by the Boat Princess Media, and available anywhere you get your podcast.